Grounded.
Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Today on Minstrel, we're going to have Light and Queen for a Patreon cast of the day. Really fun map, really fun matchup. Bottom right, it's going to be our Orange Terran. It is Light. Top left, it is Queen playing the yellow Zerg. Alright, kids, so the Patreon cast of the week, not of the day. I post one Patreon cast over on patreon.com/Falcon Paladin once a week. A month before it shows up on the channel. So if you're watching this the last week of November 2025, or right before December, thank you for supporting me at patreon.com/Falcon Paladin for at least $1 a month. Love you very much. And if you are supporting me out on YouTube by watching, hit that like button and subscribe, man. Trying to get to 75,000 subscribers at some point. Maybe at the end of 2026. We'll see how it goes. So, very good stuff. And if you're supporting me monetarily other ways, like at PayPal or at Venmo at Falcon Paladin, or, you know, here on YouTube by being a channel member, I appreciate and love you as well. Just helps keep me floating these days while I try to make a go of it as a professional StarCraft streamer. Some months are leaner than others, but, you know, just cutting back on stuff, cutting back on just, you know, necessities sometimes, but it's working. It's working right now, so we'll see how it does in the future. So, Barracks here at the front from Light. No real surprise. Looks like it's going to be a hatch first here from Queen. Here at the minute and 35-second mark. Quat chow. There it is. Hatching down. Looking good. Everything's fine. We're probably going to expand behind this if we're Light. We don't have to. We don't have to do that, do we? No, not something that we were required to do whatsoever. We can go for a second racks behind this. We can go for a third racks behind this. We can hide the fact that we're not expanding from the drone, from the Overlord that's scouting. And then, surprise, right? Suddenly a ton of Marines show up, which is what the drone scout's all about, which is what the Lings parked at the front are all about. Is if you don't know what's going on inside of Terran's base, you should be scared and be prepared for whatever comes out of that front door. We got a spawning pool. We have gas. Everything's totally cool. Steve the SCV, hooking it over, saying, hey, what's up, man? You got a hatch first. Neat. Drone gets in for the scout here. This first scout, cool. Right? Nothing too crazy about this, because this is a standard build. It's what happens after this that is really interesting. Is there going to be an expansion? Will there be some gas? Will there be gas and a fast engineering bay for a fast +1 attack? Or are we going to go for mech? Right? All these things are important things to know for the drone. The drone says, good enough, and decides to go home. And then Light says, pa-pow! Let's get that expansion down. Excelente. Excelente. Very, very excellent here today on Minstrel. Fun map, right? Because why? Because there are these weird paths. Walking paths. You walk this way, there's a path. You walk this way, there's a path. Some paths are blocked off by minerals with a little tiny mineral field of 48 minerals that you can mine out. And then, boom, new path. Look at it. So much high ground for carriers. This is a good carrier map, but no Protoss here today, thankfully, for Light, right? So we've got Lings out defending the defending against the scout here, defending against a little bit of a 1 Marine pressure. Weird stuff from Light, man. Lair on the way with first 100 gas. And we've got an academy. We have an academy coming up. We've got an expansion coming up. We have a second racks coming up. Okay, so it is going to be an SK Terran push. Maybe there will be a transition into mech. Maybe not. We will have to see, won't we? So, yeah, good to see you here. Hope you're enjoying the day. Hope you're enjoying the Patreon cast if you're a patron, and if you're enjoying the regular old cast. Man, can you believe 2025 is almost done? Time just speeds up the older you get, man. I remember being like 30 and feeling that the time was speeding up, and that was 15 years ago now, basically. I'm 40, I mean, what am I, 42 years old? So, yeah, time flies when you're having fun, when you're casting StarCraft, which I've been doing for the last 10 years. Awesome stuff. So, Lings chase out. Steve the SCV lives. Got the important scouting information. Saw the lair. Excellent stuff. Spire coming in. Excellent stuff there, too. Third rack's probably happening fairly soon as well. And an engineering bay for turrets. It's got to be part of the plan because the Spire's on the way, and without turrets, you die. I'm kind of curious to see now if a Terran player would be willing to try spending those minerals on Marines instead of on turrets, and then seeing if you can just defend with Marines, with the range upgrade, with the stim, right, with the medics, and see if that's as successful a defense. Because you'd have a lot more Marines, right? Because, I mean, turrets are 100 minerals each. So that's 2 more Marines you're building. But I'm sure somebody mathed it out and figured out, no, it's not really worth it at all. Here's the push. Again, this Ling, this Bloodstain saw this. saw The Marines and the medics, they're coming for us now, dude. They're still coming. So one sunken, maybe a second sunken would be nice. Scans in, sees the spire's not done yet, says cool. Neat. Yeah, second sunken here, gonna be good. Ling's just buying time. Every time the Marines stop going left and they start going right a little bit, that buys a little bit more time. One sunken, good. Two sunkens, also nice. Now the Lings have to engage at the same time with the sunken, and you're just maybe just forcing some static defense out for the Zerg. Maybe this was a feint. Maybe that's all Light wanted to do, was say, I want you to take 2 drones, turn them into sunkens, take the minerals to turn them into sunkens, take the minerals, turn them into sunkens, right? And then I'll go home. I won't lose anything, but you lost something here. You lost economy. You lost money that you didn't want to have to spend. I made the stuff anyway. I'm going to use this. I'm going to use this a lot for the rest of this game. Well, they might be dead by the 10-minute mark, but still, they're going to have value, whereas this will maybe have value later. I like that he canceled the second sunken. That's a good high-level move right there. So, good stuff. Racks, cool. +1, cool. Turrets, also awesome. Mutalisks, ready to rock here. We're at 22 drones. Checking to see, is there a third base down here? No. How about a third base up here, says Firebat Frank. The answer is also no. Not happening whatsoever. So far, everything is looking good. Looking good in the hood. This drone gets caught up. Dead. I like how the Lings are like going to try to save him. How? You got to get through these eggs. That takes you like 400 years. Mutas into the main base. What can they do? Well, there are 7 of them. But 2 turrets is a little bit scary. Sniping the SCV, building a supply depot. Good win there. More SCVs in the mineral line, also very vulnerable. Marines are covering the backside of this mineral line because the turrets can't get back there. And they do a good job forcing the mutas out. One of them goes down. One is extraordinarily injured. Third base is going to come down for Queen. Bam, down left. Lings are running around, trying to see what they can do. 30 drones, 35 SCVs here at 7 minutes. Okay, so mutas are getting a +1 attack upgrade, but it's only these guys, I think. He's not making any more. I like the macro hatch inside the main. I like the Hydra Den here, too. Some lurkers are incredibly useful against everything you see here on the screen. Now, third base also needs to be defended. Kind of hard on this map. It's a little bit further away, but I mean, third base is for Zergs that are far away. Nothing new, obviously. Scanning out, seeing, let's see, 2 sunkens. Actually making the second sunken now. Marine push coming in. We've got 6 more Mutalisks on the way. Lings, get on in! What? Lings are sniping the turrets! The Terran is away! This is absolutely insane! Turret down! Wait, can't see. The factory's over top of the turret, but I think the turret's dead. SCV's getting sniped. Charging into the main base, though, or the natural base here is Light. He's not going home to save this. He's using, I think, Zerglings to save the day. Is that working very well? I'm not sure that it is. Okay, 2 sunkens up now. Firebat. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Mutas trying to snipe it on the other side. No sunkens here now. None. 1 sunken coming up. It's probably going to die first. Mutalisks are taking a lot of damage, but they're doing a lot of damage here, too. The Marine count is low. The Muta count is also low. But no, once they stop microing, it's over. That attack gets pushed and stopped. And a couple SCVs died. Not the end of the world there. And whoa! Light taps out. Whoa, 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 whoa. Light says nope, and Queen says what? And Queen comes over to check what's going on because what? So he comes over, he sees what's up. He sees that there are like 2 Marines back here. I guess he just can't defend against the counterattack. It's a full 11 Muta stack with +1, right? This turret's dead. This turret's dead. He's got 1 turret back here defending his natural base. All these Mutas are probably going to ruin him. And then these Lings in here. So game 1 of the sneaky twofer is over, and it is in favor of Queen here. Queen gets game number 1 of the sneaky twofer. Wow, what an absolutely unexpected GG timing. Yeah, there's a hive on the way. Queen was not expecting to win the game there. He was hoping to get up into Defilers and win at the tier 3 stuff, but he didn't have to. Just completely shut that attack down. The Ling attack in here was awesome as well. Front door just wide open. That's always a problem. Actually, I'm curious. How wide open was that front door, Falcon? Pretty wide open. Check this out. He's just like, no, I will leave nothing back home to defend. Right? I'm going to get a huge group of dudes. We're going to set up. We're all going to leave on a magical tour across the map and leave nothing at home. Nothing at all. Look at these lings. Sorry. Look at these lings hiding down here. This is a soul key maneuver. This is soul key where he's like, aha, you left your base. I'm going to run lings in there. Hopefully he didn't defend. And there's nothing here. There's nothing here. Yeah, turret dies. I'm pretty sure that turret dies. Can't quite tell, but a lot of SCVs are dying there too. Wow. So many SCVs died. Holy crap over here. And then this attack is cleaned up. The +1 attack kicks in. The mutas wipe it out. And then he says, okay, what do I have? I've got 4 Marines back home, 5 Marines, and a medic, and 1 turret at this base that is on fire and actively burning down. He says, no, that's not happening. I saw how many Mutalisks Queen had. GG. Wow. So game 1, straight up going to the Terran there. Beautiful stuff. 26,000 to 20,000 points there in favor of Queen. Sorry, going to the Zerg there. Terran tapped out. I thought what Light would do better is all. So 2-to-1 kill death ratio. Production numbers are about the same. That's not going to look good for a Terran player. 2-to-2 on buildings raised. And the outspend here by Queen by about 2,000 resources in only about 8 minutes. We'll tell the story there as well. So that's a GG. Fantastic. What a really, really good game number 1 there. Let's move into game number 2 of our Sneaky Twofer for the Patreon cast of the week. And tap that like button if you are on the YouTube as well. Game 2. We are here. Oh, the music should be back. Game 2 is here on Radeon. Top right, Queen. Top left, it is Light. All right, good stuff here. Do love this track from the Zerg soundtrack for StarCraft. Man, it's a good one. Every time I hear this part, it just takes me back. Takes me back to playing StarCraft for some of the first times in my entire life, being like, what is up with this Zerg race, man? I understood Terran because I played the campaign, right? The StarCraft 1 campaign. Terran was okay. I beat that campaign. And then Zerg shows up, and I'm like, what the heck? This is so weird. You're telling me this one structure produces drones and army units? And you can produce them more at the same time? And then I fell in love because lings are fast, mutas are fast. I like the idea of making like 20 lings all at the same time and then rushing your opponent, and that is how I became a Zerg player. A filthy Zerg player, as some people would say. Anyway, all right. So that was a weird ending to game number 1 there, but Light put all the eggs in the I'm going to kill Queen right now basket, and nope, did not work. So let's go to game number 2 here. We've got an overpool opening this time from Queen on this 4-player map. Not a hatch first. Not a super early pool, but it is a pool first play. So I think overpool just kind of splits the difference between a macro and an early aggressive build here. Just, you know, making sure you don't die to something weird like a 2-rax. You don't scout with the Overlord. But everything is A-OK and standard here in Light's base, man. This build, why is it so popular? Because you can do aggression with it. You can do early expanding with it. Just, you have to learn to wall off at your natural, but that is a small price to pay for a build this good and this adaptable. SCV scouting, both places here, man. Both places. 2 SCVs off the line, not doing income, just scouting. That is how highly Light values scouting, man. He sees the second hatch. Well, the hatch that is second to the pool here. Hatch second build. And he says, okay. An overpool. From you? Queen says, yes. From me. Neat. What are we doing, man? Lings? Blah, 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 blah. Lings already out, obviously. Pool first means lings are out at 2.5 minutes. Marines coming across the map here, too, trying to see what's going on here on Radeon. We got this this little high grounder base in between the 2 players now. Who's going to take this? Maybe nobody. They might just try to expand away from each other. We'll see. So Light is somebody that likes mech. Yeah, he's somebody I would not be surprised to see him get some gas right about now. Try to get a factory out pretty fast, get some vulture shenanigans out there. Or a fake out mech play, right? Sometimes we see Terran players go for that mech play, but then, quelle surprise, it turns out that it was just a couple vultures, and bam, we're into Marines now. Surprise! You thought you're dealing with mech. It's not. It's SK Terran. You can transition both ways. as a Terran, which is nice. You have a lot of options available to you. Don't think you ever have to do one thing as Terran. You really don't. So there's the expand. There's the no gas. Supply depot for SCV and marine production. Everything's fine here. Cool, cool, cool. A lot of lings out, which Steve is noticing. Steve is like, you have more than the handful, like 6 lings that you want. This is 8. Just, you know, gonna be careful about it. Yeah, bring the Marines inside the house. See if there's a... Oh, did they kill him? Oh, they killed the Marine up... Or the Overlord up there with the Marines. Nice. So supply blocking Queen. That 350 is brutal stuff. These lings are not getting through this wall. Not with the Marines there at all. And he's not planning on it anyway. He's going to go for that Spire. Going to go for those Mutalisks again. Let's see how this works out. Academy. Neat. So that tells us everything we have to know about the opening here. It's going to be Marines. It's going to be Firebats. It's going to be Medics. Spire timing at about 410. Not the fastest Spire I've ever seen. But again, it's not a hatch first. It wasn't a hatch first play. It was an overpool, which does delay a little bit of the timing for a normal Spire, which is not going to be that big of a deal. More racks. Kel Surprise again. What's going on? Am I watching any TV recently? Not really. I kind of want to watch The Pit. That's on HBO. It's basically an emergency room TV show drama, right? Where they really kind of go hard on the injuries and the illnesses. And I've heard some people talk about it who've worked in an ER being like, it's kind of too much. It takes me back to work a little bit too hard. And it's like, okay, so that's the thing. For medical dramas, either like it's entirely unrealistic and people who work as doctors and nurses can watch it and be like, yeah, okay, whatever. They're kind of annoyed by the differences that are happening, but it doesn't like drag them into a work situation. But apparently The Pit does. So I kind of want to see what it's all about, but also it's on HBO and I can't really afford to get HBO right now, so I'm not going to worry about it. Maybe one day I'll have it in the budget to get the HBO, but there are just, 15 different streaming services, and part of me is annoyed by that, but also it's kind of okay, I guess, because people can choose what streaming services to sign up for, right? They can determine whether they want to pay for The Pit or not. Whereas back in the cable days, it was more like you paid for every channel in the package. You got all the shows no matter what you wanted. So anyway, I think there's a little bit more consumer choice here, but it's still not ideal. Anyway, more mutas in production. Lings, poking, seeing the Marine count, saying, okay, nice. This isn't going to be, not going to be any Goliaths out here for my mutas to deal with. It's definitely going to be Marines, going to be those turrets anyway, no matter what the opening is here from the Terran player. And +1 attack again for the Mutalisks. So we got 6 mutas here. There will be more. I promise you that. And SCV. Where are the turrets in the main? What the what? Okay, that turret was just a little bit late. Man, that could have been really disastrous. The Marines did cover it. Link's trying to jump in. Nope. Enough Marine. Medic especially here. Enough to make it work out. So SCV sniped there. 8 Mutalisks now. Ow. Taking turret shots for nothing is really not what you want to do. Losing a Mutalisk for nothing is not what you want to do either here, man. Not looking good. 3rd base down here on the low ground, which means if you can take it, you get a 4th base pretty much free. And charging into the natural base, Lings and the Mutas before the upgrade is done. The Lings pretty much don't get anything done. It did allow the Mutas a little bit of an additional attack angle up here into the main, but I mean, they could have gotten here anyway. Couple SCVs die, 25 remaining here for light. This is the kind of damage you can take and be fine as a Terran player. You don't want to get under 20. Once you're under 20 SCVs, things get bad really fast for you. So keep that in mind. We've got a +1 attack finishing up for the Terran, +1 attack for the Mutas. Like I said, is on the way. It takes a while to get there, though. And 3rd base looking fancy. Scanning in, seeing the no sunkens and saying, if I can get out of here and get over to that natural base, I can probably kill this Zerg. Of course, by the time I get there, the +1 attack might be done, and then all my Marines will die because +1's insanely good in that situation. Yeah, sniping a turret. This Muta control by Queen. Every Zerg player watching this is like, oh yeah, Queen. You control those Mutas. You control them so well, and we're pushing. We are pushing Lytas. This is a scary group. You're going to lose Mutalisk to try to engage here. That's exactly what he's doing. He's trading Muta blood for Marine blood. My goodness. Muta's back in. Marines on the ramp, ready for those guys. They don't want to stick around at the very least. And getting the SCV on the factory delays science vessel production. Ah, this is so good. This is some really good Muta stuff. Even without the +1 attack. This whole thing has been without +1. Insane stuff by Queen. Hydra Den on the way. Scanning, seeing the third, seeing the second, seeing no Sunkens at either base. One just finishing at the natural. Done now. And +1 is done. Okay, so you'll notice you're going to see more attacks. You're going to see more sweeps in with the Mutas when they've got that +1. Yep, see, trying to come from a high, like a high vision angle there. Actually, is that high ground? I guess it's not. Kind of looks like it might be, but it isn't. Yeah, just more and more Mutalisks, dude. This is kind of like the last game where it was kind of won with Mutas. He sees Mutas. He sees the Hydra Den. He scans again? No, he scanned the middle of the map to see where the Mutalisks were. I don't know why we're over here exactly. This doesn't defend anything. This doesn't attack anything. You're not really threatening the Zerg sitting over here. He knows there's a base down here. He scanned it. What are you down here for? Oh, this kind of leaves your natural base wide open. I'm worried about that for you, Light. Queen's Nest hiding all the way down in the third. You can't hide it from scans forever, but you can hide it from scans for a minute, and that's worth something. Marines, +1, working on that +1 armor for the infantry. And once again, it seems like he wants to attack a base that doesn't exist. Yeah, he's coming up this ramp. He's like, ta-da, I caught you! Or maybe just looking for an overlord. Oh, this is the jump on. That's the jump on of the entire world. Everybody on the ground is dead. All the Lings are dead. All the Marines are dead. All the medics are dead. It's another attack heading up this way. Overlord sees it. Overlord positioning, extremely important. This Overlord too, extremely important. And, oh, careful. Yeah, that was a great move by Light. He knew the Mutas were going to be coming from that direction. He knew. And so he stopped, he stimmed, he faced about, and killed a couple Mutas there for free. 76 to 66 total supply. This is close. Still no Sunkens down this way, but Lurker aspect is done, and Lurkers are coming in. It's going to be hard for the Marines to break, obviously. Guess what we're doing? We're making science vessels. It was delayed. It wasn't stopped, man. Killing that factory, the SCV building the factory slowed things down. It didn't stop it forever. Hive on the way. Continuing to shark about with the +1 Mutas. Yeah, just taking damage and not getting a single glaive worm off is bad. You're just bruising up these Mutalisks for absolutely no reason. Hive coming in. Lurkers at the natural. Lurkers at the third. Irradiates. Gotta do what Irradiates gotta do. He really wants... I guess that supply depot is actively burning down now, so maybe he wants that. SCV, after building supply depot, doing nothing, gets killed by the Mutalisks. Get back to work! He makes an example of that lazy SCV, so the rest of them will keep working. He's doing the Terran's job for him right now. Ooh, we found a spot to just kind of park a little bit up here. There's no anti-air whatsoever. Free Marine is free. Could probably kill that supply depot, but again, it's actively burning down. This is a big attack by Light coming down this way. Hold on a second. Lurkers, 4 of them. Lurker eggs at the front to buffer. And Light, I think, is putting a lot of his eggs into this attack. That's a lot of stacked Lurkers, though, man. Man. Is he timing it to where he's going to attack once the Lurker eggs pop? He's got to be, right? Look at this. He's waiting for the Lurker eggs to pop, and then he goes. That's exactly right. Here goes nothing. Lurkers burrowing in. Target down, target down, target down. The Mutas are a little bit late to the party, but every Lurker dies. What an insane bust by Light. Are we kidding right now? Those Lurkers did almost nothing, it looks like. Into the third base we go. Scourge, no. Too many Marines down here. The stim is done. The +1 is on. Queen, it taps out for game 2 of our sneaky threefer. Oh, I gotta keep you guys on your toes sometimes, huh? Gotta keep you on your toes. You can't look at the game and be like, oh, it's 30 minutes long. Obviously, it's a 30-minute macro game. Nope. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes this attack works at the third base and the Zerg player dies. The Mutas were a little bit late to the party. I cannot believe how clean that was. How many Marines died? How many Marines actually died during this attack? Let's take a look. Rewound a little bit too far. Speed it up. Yeah, I called it. Once these lurker eggs popped, it was time to go. Okay, so hold on. So 1 Marine, 2 Marine, 3 Marine, 4 Marine, and a medic. 5 Marine, 6 Marine, 7 Marines. That's about it. About 6 Marines there died to the lurkers. The Muta's got a couple attacks there too, but they are too few in number to do this. And bam, just a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 racks play on 2 bases by light, killed queen. This works in ASL sometimes too, folks. If you watch enough ASL, you know. You know this absolutely works. Zergs fall over dead to this all the time. I mean, not all the time, but the best ones don't. Like Sulky, I don't think really ever dies to this. I mean, there was that game between Barracks and Sulky in ASL 20 where Sulky just wasn't ready for Valkyries at all. The Valkyries arrived at the push, and he was like, what? And all his mutas died, and that was it. So, good game, dude. Good game. Just sharking around, keeping the Zerg busy, accepting the harassment, and then just 5 raxing, showing his way. Bam, destroys everything. 46,000 to 53,000 points there. Total amount produced here, outproducing the Zerg, getting outkilled by the Zerg, but by a smaller number. Structures raised 2 to 1, negligible. The outspin by Queen, not nearly as impressive in this game as it was in the last game, and we can see why. So, GG, guess what? A sneaky 3-fer means there's a 3rd game, by golly. So let's check that one out. Be right back for that. Tap that like button. Don't go anywhere. Game 3, we're on Kickback. Good times. Bottom right, Zerg. Top left, Terran. You know who it is. No real surprises here, man. So yeah, let me know in the comments, what TV are you watching right now? What can you recommend to watch? I watched Donnie Darko, which is a movie from 2001. I'd always heard people talk about it before, never actually watched it myself, and watched it for myself to see what I thought about it. Very weird movie. Kind of an interesting plot. It has a young Jake Gyllenhaal and Maggie Gyllenhaal as his sister, who is his actually real-life sister. It was a weird casting decision, I feel like, but it works because, again, they're brother and sister in real life. I did not know that before I watched. I didn't know that Drew Barrymore was in it either. So it didn't do very well at the box office, but did very well in DVD sales and like midnight movie showings and stuff. And it's just a weird movie about like schizophrenia and mental illness and time travel a little bit. Just kind of a lot of interesting ideas in there. And also a young, who is it? Seth Rogen? I think a young Seth Rogen is in there too. I think he's uncredited. He's so young. So anyway, Donnie Darko. I give it like a 6 out of 10. I think that's fair to say. Guess what Light's doing? Same thing he's done in Game 1 and Game 2. Going for the racks on the supply depot, on the wall, and kickback. Now again, you get a nice little 3rd base situation on this map. Look, 3rd base, and another one over here that's easy to take. Rad. However, 3,000 gas and 1,200 minerals on these mineral patches. Which means, yeah, you can go 3-base something, but not for as long as you could 3-basing with another base. Now, the other thing about kickback is every expansion on this map is that way. Not just the ones that are safe to take. This one, also 1,200 and 3,000. But the main spawns, all 4 main spawns, have 1,500s and the full 5,000 gas. Interesting, yeah? Interesting design for a map. So, drone scouting, doesn't find anything. SCV scouting, hasn't found anything yet. Doesn't mean he won't. Probably will, in fact. SCVs very rarely don't find anything when they're scouting. So putting the pool at the front is interesting. Right? It does help you wall off a little bit here. And if, yeah, this creep, this sunken actually spreads creep if it connects with some. Unlike over here, where, you know, there's no creep touching it, so it doesn't spread creep itself. It's an interesting, it just helps Zerg wall off here. I'm assuming in ZVZ mostly, but also a bit of a wall off here too in ZVT. Not that it's a huge deal, right? You can usually get creep up to your natural pretty darn easily. I guess maybe the idea is that it's a little bit further away than usual maps. So that's what this neutral sunken is all about. You'll notice it's not attacking the SCV because it is neutral. It's not going to attack anyone, but it is providing creep for the Zerg, which is making it less neutral, I guess, and more a little bit biased for the Zerg player, I suppose. So we do, actually, I didn't call it out. It's mech. We got mech. Or maybe a 2-port Wraither. That is a fast starport. It could be for a Vulture drop. It could be for 2-port Wraith. I'm feeling more Vulture drop here today from Light, though. Make 4 Vultures, make a drop ship, come over, drop it over here. Because guess what? The front door is all locked up, but guess what's not defended? Anything back here at all, and even into the natural base. Into the second base here. Could get a lot of kills with Vultures, so good build for this map. I like what we're seeing here from Light in Game 3 a lot. It is 1-1, by the way. So whoever wins this game is the winner of a secret best 2 out of 3 between these two players. Spire at about 4 minutes again. Nothing too crazy that way. Second base coming in for our guy Light. They are chattering up a storm. Again, if you want to translate the Korean for me, feel free to do so. I'll pin your comments so people know what they're talking about, but I don't imagine it's anything too important. So it is a Wraith, but it's a 1-port Wraith. He's actually killing the sunken. Just, I don't know. Give the Marines something to do, I guess. But it's 1-port Wraith. Nope. Second starport up here behind the production tab. There we go. So 2-port Wraith as the build. In game number 3 here. The winner go home match. Let's go. Macro hatch up at the front here. For Queen. Yeah. 2-port Wraith. 1 Vulture out. Somewhere. Might be dead. I don't know. Did he cancel the Vulture? Ah, see, Wraith makes himself known by killing an Overlord, and now Queen's like, oh, a Wraith. Is this a committed Wraith play? Is this 1 Wraith? Is this 2 Wraiths? Is this 6 Wraiths, right? What are we doing here? How many Wraiths are going to be built? Do I need a Spore? Because I do need a Spore if it's a lot of Wraiths, but if it's only 1, I don't. Check this out. Cloak's on the way, so obviously it's going to be more than the 1 and more than the 2. So we got Scourge morphing and Wraith juking out of there. Nicely done. So getting the Wraith out of here is an important job for the Scourge. Even if they don't kill the Wraith, it's good enough to keep it out for now. Missile turret, because he knows Mutalisks are probably going to show up here eventually. Excellent job there by Light. And yeah, 2-port Wraith in game 3. Let's rock. Cloak doesn't take that long to research. Doesn't take as long as like a +1 attack for Mutalisk does. But that's because you can make a lot more Mutalisks in 2 minutes than you can Wraiths, eh? Evolution Chamber. I think he's going to invest in the Spore. I think that's what that's for there. Evo Chamber making that happen, Captain. The neutral sunken is dead. The Spy. The Spy that was here is gone now. Queen's Nest coming up. And the third base for the hatch. Or for the Zerg player is looking good too. So no real surprise he's getting that third hatch. Easy to defend all of this unless you're worried about flying stuff, which, hey, guess what? There are Wraiths about, or dropships. Could be dropships. There's not a control tower here on the starport, so probably not happening here. What's the follow-up, though? This is going to tell us racks. This is going to be Marines, going to be Firebats, going to be Wraiths. Going to be a mix of all those things. SCV coming around, trying to get some information. Realizes that's not happening. Stops, gives up on life. One sunken at the front. Some lings here, too. Wraiths are out. Wraiths. Oh, Queen. We got a Queen from Queen. Let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Hive on the way at 7 minutes. And Ensnare. No real surprise about that Ensnare. Once you see a Queen, it's going to be for Ensnare. It could be for Spawn Broodling against a million tanks from a Meching Terran, but at this stage of the game against Wraiths, Ensnare will reveal the Wraiths, it decloaks them, and slows them so Mutas can chase them down and murder them. It's one of the best things you can do against a Wraithing player as a Zerg, getting a huge Ensnare down. Oh, there's nothing here at the third base, though. Overlord does die for that. Didn't have a single Spore over here, no Mutalisks, no Scourge in position, means you're just asking to take damage. He's going a little bit light on the defense over here at the second base. Third base has the same thing going. Nothing to defend these drones if the Wraiths show up in that position. 5 Wraiths. Stim's on the way. Ensnare can be used to toss down on Marines too. Slows their attack speed. Slows them. I mean, it slows Wraith attack speed too. Ensnare is good. Nice snipe on that Scourge. Not that it was hard to do because you're invisible. It can't really fight back when you cannot be seen. Yeah, Ling at the front. This is a good Ling at the front. It's going to die. But, you know, was there scouting any potential attacks on the ground. This Wraith count is actually a little bit intimidating. It's a lot. I mean, it's not 11. It's only 9. But still a good number here. Scans in, sees the Hive, sees the Ultralisk Cavern, and says, hey, guess what's not good against Ultras? Wraith. Wraiths are, you know, they can't get damaged, obviously, by Ultras, but they do so little damage to them. They do 8 damage per shot ground with a slow attack rate, and an Ultra with full upgrades, you're going to do, like, 2 damage to that thing. Every one of these races is going to do 2 damage to a fully upgraded Ultra. Not that we're there, right? I mean, Carapace upgrade, yes. Scourge, Mutas, yes. Sunken against the Marines, yes. Queen is looking okay here, right? 43 to 41 workers, 2 Basin, 4 Raxen, Control Towering is light, maybe for dropships. Dropping up here with Marines covering the race would be insane. Kind of surprised Queen isn't checking that out. Like, he's got vision up here, obviously, but he doesn't have anything in position to stop that from happening. But I guess he knows the race have been... Oh, the Queen gets sniped without getting a single ensnare off. Oh, Queen, no. This is some tight micro by light, but still Spore at the third base here, getting some work done. Shots on Mutas. You don't kill Mutas fast as Wraiths. You're tended to do damage against things like Carriers and Battlecruisers. And Overlords, but not against Mutas. But you know, anything that does damage to anything else can kill it. And that's what the Wraiths are all about. Is they will kill these Mutalisks given enough time to do so. So, snipe. Beautifully done there. Snipe again. Okay, maybe another ensnare. Bam! Got it! Got the ensnare, but the Wraiths pulled back to be covered by the Marines in the process. Scourge, do not connect against the ensnared race. They are visible, they are slow, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't actually do any damage to them. If it wears off, no damage done, effectively. I mean, it made them hang back a little bit. This is such a tight situation that Queen finds himself in here, man. Yeah, see the Wraiths? Ensnare wore off. No damage taken from anything that wasn't already injured. And we're good to go. Ultralisks getting speed. We already have 4 armor. Excellent. Still no sign of a third base here. Just the racks, man. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 racks on 2 bases. This feels all in, man. This feels really all in from light. Snipes the Queen again. Another Queen dies. There's been 3 Queens made. 2 of them have died. 1 ensnare has gotten tossed off. Bam, got it. Ah, try to fall back now, idiots. Oh, actually, the Marines defended themselves pretty adequately, actually. All right, Ultras don't have speed yet, but they're really tanky. They're willing to run out here. Tank the damage from the Marines. Nice D-Matrix there. And then the Mutas maybe get the damage off on the Wraiths, but Scourge connecting. You can't run another big ensnare on the dudes. The Queen dies for no reason. Everything's ensnared. Everything is on a cob. Says Rick and Morty, season 2 or something. A D-Matrix to Marine next to his ensnared buddies. Again, attack speed is lowered. It's not negated entirely. Lings jumping in. They didn't even have speed until a second ago. This is not looking great. Light says, question mark? Queen says, yes, obviously. This is working great for me. I'm only down about 50 supply. I'm not killing nearly as many of these Wraiths or these Marines as I want to. This Ultralisk speed just runs past everything. Dreno's on the way. Ling's also running past. Zoom. It's like, aha. Try to bust through this while you're getting ultra-linged, fool, on the other side of the map. Okay. Ow, ow. Well, those ones all died. These ones are going to die. Almost. Should be dead. This contain is absolutely brutal, though. This is not looking good. Irradiating the Ultralisks. Oh, Irradiated Ultralisk actually kills an Overlord and Queen! Queen taps out. Light is our winner in this secret best of 3 between these two players. Light and Queen, two of the best players in the world right now. Dude, that was amazing. What a fantastic showing there by Light, both in Games 2 and in Game 3. Game 3 was incredibly interesting. Look at this. Ensnare, 2-port Wraith, fast Ultralisk, but, you know, without Dark Storm, they're just not as good, right? They're just not as good. They're very scary. But without Dark Storm, they're handleable. They can be dealt with. And this was Light just not even thinking about getting, actually, this might have been him thinking about getting a third base. But not for the first 13 minutes of the game, which is pretty much an all-in at that point. So that is a GG. Man, what a game. Like, really, really fun stuff. We just don't see it. We just don't see Ensnare enough. And this is part of why, right? Ensnare connected really well. Did it help Queen win? Not really. It was fine. It wasn't the greatest thing of all time, though, right? So that's why we don't see it very much, but it can be great. Can be great. 64,000 to 55,000 points in favor of Light. We got an outproduction by Queen, but the outkill is massive by Light. Oh my gosh. The 2-to-1, more than a 2-to-1 kill to death ratio there. One building raised to 0 by Queen. The outspend by Queen was there, but again, not quite enough for a 13-minute match. So that is going to be it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of a Patreon cast for the week of, I don't know, like November the 30th or something, 2025. Thanks for being here. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, Twitch, Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky. All at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.